Hey, hi team. Welcome again to UFT training. So last time we have seen about the UFT GUI, right? We understood all this the different types of the pane, that the main window is divided into the three sub windows and all. Now today we are going to just focus on the little bit theoretical part of UFT. So UFT stands for it is a unified functional testing, and which is a combination of QTP, that is a quick test professional, plus the API, right? So this is a combination. So we can perform the functionality testing as well as API testing. So it's a combi, and then it becomes a unified functional testing. Previously, it was a product of the HP, right? And originally it was the developed by the Mercury Interactive, and that time it was called as the Quick Test Professional, right? So now UFT is equal to QTP plus the service tools, right? And it is getting supported for the desktop based application. Okay, we can perform the testing activity using a desktop based application or a standalone application, right? Then the web based application, then the mobile based application, right? API testing also we can perform. So these are the different types of the supports that we can get it through this the UFT. So UFT supports this the different kinds of application. Now the next is UFT license. So when we talk about the different types of the licenses, there are two types of license. One is called as a seat license and the another one is called as a concurrent license. Now, what is the difference between seat license and concurrent license? So seat license is nothing but that is a single user can use a single license. Okay, say for example, if I purchase that license, then I can use that license only. Nobody others can use that license, which is called as a seat license, right? Then the concurrent license is nothing but, or it is also called as a floating license. So say for example, if I purchase within a team, right, and my team is working in India as well as in the outside India, other countries, say US. Now, if I'm not using that particular license, and if my team can be able to use that the license, which is called as a concurrent license. But remember that at the same time, both we cannot use it. Okay, either or. If I'm using that particular license, then the other team member cannot use it. Okay, if he is using that license, then I cannot use it. So it's like that, and this is what it is called as a floating license team, right? So this is all about the UFT. Now let's take an example and then try to understand. We are going to take a different sample applications, right? So we can take a flight reservation application, which is a standalone application and which has come up with the UFT itself. It's a sample application. That is the one thing. Then the second is open the source, that is Orange HRM demo is already there. So we can take a demonstration on that also. And then the advantageonlineshopping.com is also one more site. So these are the different types of the real-time scenarios that we can get into that. So we will see later on. Don't worry about it. Okay. Now the next is we have to take one scenario and we are trying to understand in the record and playback activity. Very simple. So let me just try to show you that how to perform this record and playback activity. And there are different types of the recording modes are there that we will discuss later on in details. But let's try to just focus on how to perform this the record and playback activity, and what are the different types of the views are there. So that also we are going to focus it on. So let's take a scenario that to validate login window, right? And then the prerequisite for this the login window should be already launched. And then the steps are we have to enter the username, enter password, click on OK button, right? And then we have to close the application. So let me just open the go and type in the command in the search box, right? Flight. Okay, so when you type flight, right, we will get it flight GUI. Okay, so let me just open this flight GUI. Now the first thing, remember, before going to start any kind of the recording or any functionality, we have to take this as an offline. I want to understand this application first, and then I can start the recording activity. I don't know the username and the password. No worries about it. I'm trying to simply enter my name. See, it's Nilesh and the password, anything that you can enter. Just click on OK button. So when I click on the OK button, I am getting the incorrect username and the password, right? So the correct username is John and then the password is HP. So we got it the exact, the username and the password. Fine. So this is how you have to explore it basically. Okay. Now let me just go with the John. Okay. And then the password is HP. Let's click on OK button. Right. So this flight reservation window gets open. This application gets open, right? It's a window-based application. Right. Now you have to see there are two different, the functionalities like book flight and search order. There are two different functionalities like book flight and search order. Now let's try to perform one operation. Like say I want to go with the Denver to say for example London. Okay, and you have to select the date, say for example, and we have to go with the first class with 2 tickets or 3 tickets, and let's find out the flight, select particular flight, correct, and then you have to enter passenger name. So when you enter the passenger name, then and then only this order button gets enabled. So let me just enter my name. Okay, fine. And then I have to click on the order. So once I click on the order, you can see that the order number, that is 91, is completed. It means that the order is confirmed. Now I have to go and check it out whether this order number is exist. Okay, so I can go to the new search, right? Search order. When I click on the search order functionality, we will get it two options. One is you can search by the say name as well as the date or order number. So let me just go with the order number, that it's 91, and let's search it out. Okay, when I search this the 91, right, then I am getting this the Nilesh Warkar. Correct. So this is how we have to find out. And let me just close this window. Okay. This is what the functionalities are there. If you want to delete this particular the order, you can go and try to delete it out. So whether you want to confirm that the order should be get deleted, yes or no, right? Let me just keep it as it is. And let's close this application. This is all about the application. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to understand how to perform this record and playback activity. So let's start it. Let me just open this, the UFT One, and the version is 2021. Okay, let's continue with this. Okay, you have to select, the adding manager, right? So it's very important that you have to select. So suppose for example, and that the particular application is developed in the .NET, you have to select the .NET add-in, right? If it is a web-based application, you have to select a web-based application, right? If that particular application is developed in Java, you have to select the Java add-in, and so on and so on. So this is how you have to select. Okay. Now, let me just first step that I have to create a solution. Okay. Now the solution is nothing but like the say kind of a project, and it might contain the number of test cases or the test script. Okay, so this is what first we have to create a project, and then we can create the small the test cases. So let's see how to create it, right? So once this window gets open, launch. Now let me just close this startup page, and let me just create it again. I want to create a new solution now. Okay, let me just create a new solution. So I have to go to the file, new, and then I have to create a new solution. This is another option. Okay, and here from here also I can create a new solution, either or. So let me just go to the file and new, and then new solution. Okay, right, so I can create a new solution in the document, right? If you want to give any kind of, say for example, I can create UFT examples. This is what I created, one folder. Okay, and inside this I want to create a new solution. This is my solution. This is what I want to say, right? So this is what I created a solution. Now inside this solution, I have to create one, the small script. So when you select this, the solution, right click on it and then click on add, and then you want to add a new test. Okay. So this is a GUI based test. We are not performing API, BPT, BPF, right? So we are performing a GUI based testing. So let me just give the TS, and we have to go with the record and playback. This is what I want to understand first. Okay, now here you can see that the location. Now the location, by default location is here user HP, then the documents and UFT one, perfectly right. And I created another one, right? So if this is UFT example that I need to select and just click on add button. Okay, right. Now let me just start with the record and playback activity. And very important thing is that the application should be launched. This is a prerequisite. If you go and check it out, the scenario is then the login should be already launched. So let me just go and launch this in the flight reservation application. Fine. Okay. Now let's move to the record and the playback settings. So let me just go to the record and run, or the playback settings is there. So we have to go and check it out. Okay, we have to close this. Let me just close it out. So it has been already opened with the other solution. So I need to go with, let me just go with the record button. When I click on the record button, if you observe it, that the same window will get appear when you go with the record and run settings. So the same record and run setting dialog boxes appear. Now there are two tabs. One is the web and the Windows application, right? So if you want to go with the web-based application, then you have to select with the web. And if it is a window-based application, you have to go with the window-based application. Now there are two options are there. One is record and run of any the open browser. If it has been already open, that the particular application is already launched and you want to start the recording on it, you can select this window, right? That the particular option. And then if you want to go with the say if I want to go with other the browser, right? Say Chrome is there, then the Firefox is there, right? Safari is there, Internet Explorer is there, anyone, yeah. So I can select this particular the browser and I can start the recording. That is the another option, and you have to specify which URL, correct? So these are the different options are there. Definitely when we learn this, when we learn this web-based application, so definitely I will concentrate on this the particular area. Definitely we'll go in depth. Then the Windows application. So let's start with the window-based application. So we are trying to understand this record and run on open window-based application. Okay, so let me just click on the apply, right? So the application is already launched. This application is already launched, correct? And let me just enter. When I click on the record button, you can see that the standard bar is there. That is a recording bar over here. Okay, so this recording bar contains this is what the stop, then the pause, action one. We will see in details later on. And these are the different kinds of the recording modes are there, right? So the by default recording mode, it's a default recording mode. Okay, so it records your web-based application, standard web-based application, as well as the window-based application. So this is by default recording mode is there, or which is also called as a normal recording mode, right? So let's start with the steps. Okay, so I have to enter, that is a username, right? Then I have to enter a password. Okay, even if you enter the small HP, it works. Okay, now this is what I done. And okay, if you want to perform some kind of the book flight or something, you can perform it, but I just want to show you how to perform this record and playback. Okay, and now let me just close this application. Fine, this is done, and then stop it. Okay, right. Okay team, now you observe it, it is showing that WPF window and micro focus my flight sample, right? Now what is this WPF stands for? WPF is nothing but it is a Windows Presentation Foundation, correct? Like a Windows and the browser. Okay, so this is your parent, I can say that, element, and this is what the child element is. Okay, So that will again focus on this, the in details. Now let me just play back it. My focus is I want to understand record and playback, right? Let me just run it out. If I go to the run and I can see that F5 is a shortcut that I have to run the script. Now if I try to run the scripting, it won't run. Okay, let me just show you that. And it will wait for the 20 seconds. So by default timeout is the 20 seconds. So we have to go and check it out on the run time. So if you go and check it out, that is the object synchronization timeout is 20 seconds. So definitely it will wait for till 20 seconds. Okay, let me just run it. Okay, let's see. Okay, and while running this, if you observe it, we are getting different kinds of the settings over here, right? I'm not sure whether my script is, the okay, or it is showing some kind of error, whether it is pass, fail, I don't know. So that's why I want to make this as a temporary file. Okay, that is what we can create a temporary result. Once it gets finalized the result, then I can go with, the particular location and I can save this, the result over here, and it will create res1 folder and it will store it. Okay, so let's go with the temporary run right now. Okay, and then run it. So while running this, if you observe it, it is looking for that application. We haven't opened that the application yet. Okay, so it will wait till 20 seconds and then it will throw that error that the particular object or that the window is not found. Okay, this is what the prerequisite is. So we have to wait till 20 seconds and then we have to go and change this, that the application should be launched. So this is our prerequisite. Now if you check it out, okay, this particular object is not getting recognized, means this is not there. Okay, so I want to stop it now, right now. Okay, and then the next is what the prerequisite is. Okay, prerequisite is that the flight reservation should be launched, right? And let me just run it quickly again. Now you have to observe it very carefully. Then again it is a temporary run. Okay, now see that it enters everything and it closes. Okay, so it gets closed. Now if you observe it very carefully, we are getting a result outside the UFT. Okay, so how to get this result outside the UFT, that also we are going to see, and then the inside the UFT also we can see. Okay, so now the result is done. How it is coming in, the result is done. I just want to get it either pass or a fail. Why I'm getting this done? Because we didn't check any kind of the validation over here, right? We just simply did the record and playback, and that's why we are getting a result done. So you can see that the test name is the TS record and playback. Result is in the temporary folder. The time zone is Indian Standard Timings. Then the run started, run ended, then the total time, right? The product name, the product version is 2021. Okay, desktop based application, correct. So it is showing the host is desktop. And then if you check it out here, we are getting a result done. We are not getting result pass, fail, warning, etc. Okay, for each and every step, if you expand this tree structure, if you check it out, we are getting each and every step is done. Okay, but yes, later on we are going to check with the checkpoints and then we can get the result is pass or a fail. Okay, if you go and check for each and every step, if I select it, you can see that okay, this particular step is getting done. Right here the password is also getting done. Okay, now you can observe it very carefully. Right now here you can see that there is something called as an active screen. This active screen is it's taking a snapshot of that application while recording the script. Okay, and it is getting stored in the active screen. If I move my cursor to the next line, right, I enter the password. Now you can see that it is getting highlighted that this screenshot has come over here, right? It is taking for each and every step. If you observe it, each and every step it is getting captured the screenshot. Very important. That is what the active screen is. Okay, right. Now, yes, I want to show you how to get it into the built-in, right? Say I want to get the result inside the UFT. So I can go to the setting. So by default, you will get it inside these in the actually UFT, right? So you have to go to the settings tools and I have to go and then go to the options. Okay, run session, and you have to check that HTML report, it should be open the result inside. So HTML report should get it, but it should open in the inside the UFT. I don't want to get into the run result viewer report. Okay, so I selected this in the run result viewer report, so that's why I'm getting in the separate window result. I repeat, right? I want to get into this HTML report but inside the UFT, so I selected this option. So how to select it? So first you have to go to the tools, right? Go to the options and then run option. You can see that I selected this in the run result viewer report. Let me just select this and then open it result, right? And click on OK button. That's it. The setting is done. Let me just run it again and then see where we are getting the result. Okay, let me just open the flight reservation. This is very important. It's a prerequisite, right? And let me just run it and run it in the temporary folder itself. Let's run it and then see. Okay, so now everything is done. And now if you check it out, we are getting a result, HTML result inside this UFT. Correct? So how many test cases are or the steps are passed? Okay, everything is green over here. Right? So this is what we are getting this kind of a report. And if I want to get outside this, then you have to go and make this changes again. Right? So this is how you can get it in the built-in HTML report in the report inside this UFT. So hope that everybody has understood this session. Okay, and happy learning. Enjoy UFT learning team. Thank you.